Hey team, Rob here, welcome back. Today's video is slightly different because we're not out on the trail, we're here in the shed. Today we're going to be previewing a race that I'm going to be doing, Hanmer 4 and 8 hour mountain bike challenge. Steve and I are going to be heading up the road and doing the 4-hour solo race. Now, this might sound a bit daunting, but it's not that bad because the beauty of the Hanmer race, laps are only about 6 k's long, 100 metres climbing, so you're back around to the pits every 25-30 minutes if you're going at a nice gentle pace. So when you've had enough after 2 or 3 laps, you can have a break, have a refresher, get some food on board, or you can just keep going, see how far you can go in those 4 hours. Now these are a good race, I think, for a starter, because especially if you're doing a team, 3-4 people, you might only be riding once every hour and a bit, so you get a nice break to refresh the legs. But also, it's a great chance to bond with friends, form lifelong friendships and camaraderies. So, that's what we'll be doing. So let's check out the gear I'm going to be taking with me. First, clothing. So obviously we start with the shoes. We'll have some socks that I haven't bought. Got glasses with multiple lenses depending on the light conditions. We're going to be searching for those marginal gains. So we're taking the road helmet, nice and narrow. Also the lycra, stay nice and narrow. We've got a vest and some arm warmers if it starts getting chilly. Jacket and a thermal if it gets real cold. Chamois cream. Can't recommend this enough. I've got Biomaxa, but there's plenty of other good brands out there. Highly recommend a liberal dose of chamois cream before you start the race. It will make the end of your day much more comfortable. Now nutrition. We've got some Red Bulls for liquid energy. We've some gels, some bars. Now, food is going to be personal preference. These are all things that I've learned I can eat and enjoy eating and deal well in the body. But for everybody, it's going to be a wee bit different. 4-hour race, not quite so bad. But if you're doing 8 or 10, 12 hours, it's definitely very important to get your nutrition right. Same with hydration. General rule of thumb is 1 bottle per hour. So we're going to be taking 5 bottles just as a safety. All those will be filled with Powerade electrolytes. Got to replace the central electrolytes lost in sweat because we're going to be losing plenty of that. Now, this wee fella here is not a bottle. This wee fella here is called a keg. Now, it's good for keeping all sorts of goodies in. You could put food in here to have on hand at all times. I'll be putting them in my jersey pockets. What I'm going to be keeping in here is some on-bike essential spares. I've got a CO2. Got a tube, also down in here, tie lever, and the CO2 applicator head. Now, the beauty of having them in here is they're going to stay nice and clean and dry. So, worst case scenario, I do need them. They're going to be right on the bike and nice and clean and dry for me to handle. Because there's plenty of on-bike storage options you can use. But anything that's on the bike or behind the seat, if it gets wet, it's going to be a bit gross if you ever need to use it. So this is going to be great because I'm going to be able to slot it in the bottle cage. It's going to be on the bike all times and I'll always have it with me. Now, speaking of the bike setup, not really too crazy for a race like this. Just got my Rockhopper EX1 from Specialized. 1x chain rings, we got the narrow wide range 1242 10-speed cassette, no dropper. We got 2 bottle cages, so obviously we'll chuck the keg with the spares in there, chuck a bottle on there. We'll be able to change that out when we go through the pits. Nothing too drastic. Good thing about the Rockhopper that I like especially, the fork has a lockout. So on the climbs we can lock it out, and we've got rigid suspension, good for the fire roads as well. And on the descents, unlock it, and we've got that suspension back. Also got the GoPro mounts. We'll be able to mount you guys on board, and you'll be able to join me for the journeys. Be able to talk to you, give you some reactions, updates on how I'm feeling during the day. So that's really about it to preview this video, guys. Thanks for watching today. If you've enjoyed, hit that like, hit a subscribe so you get the videos for the race day. This will be coming to you in 2 parts. First part next week will be the trip up to Hanmer, setting up, starting the race, first hour or so. Then part 2 in a couple of weeks will be the end of the race, where I'm probably going to be feeling particularly sorry for myself. And finishing, and then hopefully a celebratory beer for not being dead. So guys, stay safe, and until next time, ride on.